Police make a wild discovery underneath a synagogue in Brooklyn.
An illegal tunnel found below the Chabad Lubavitch World Headquarters in Crown Heights.
When explorers stumbled into this forgotten place, they uncovered something far more unsettling than expected.
Holy... I woke up one of the bats.
Hidden caves, dark tunnels, and a forbidden room filled with shocking, terrifying discoveries. It's a place no one was meant to find, and what they uncovered shocked everyone.
So these were like very deep bunkers.
Yes, these are very deep bunkers. And they are linked to each other by more than mile.
Near the Pakistan-Afghanistan border, army units uncovered something nobody expected. Hidden beneath the dry ground was a web of underground tunnels, huge ones. They weren't rough or random. These tunnels were carved clean, connecting chambers and pathways like a secret underground world. It took months of fighting just to reach them. Inside, the silence felt heavy, like something had been left behind, or maybe was still lurking. Whatever this network was built for, it wasn't meant to be found by anyone, and it sure wasn't built in a hurry. This wasn't a hideout. It felt more like a fortress waiting for something. Tunnel World.
Perhaps 80 centimeters high, and probably about 50 to 60 centimeters wide. You can definitely not stand up in here.
Deep under Vietnam's Cu Chi jungle, the ground held a secret, an entire world hidden in dirt and darkness. During the war, the Viet Cong dug over 120 miles of tight, twisting tunnels beneath the forest. But these weren't just escape routes. They were cities underground. Kitchens, trapdoors, meeting rooms, even weapon storage, all built below the feet of enemy troops. Some fighters lived there for months at a time, crawling through humid, pitch-black tunnels just a few feet tall. Now, tourists walk through small parts of it, but the air down there still feels heavy, like the war never really left. Cave Giant. A grainy 2003 video has clawed its way back into the spotlight, and it's chilling. U.S. troops in Kandahar, Afghanistan, were seen near a tank when something massive moved in the shadows. It wasn't a man. Towering and dark, the figure bolted into the ground like it was part of the cave itself. Soldiers went silent. Some swore it was the Kandahar Giant, the same one locals have warned about for centuries. The video disappeared fast, yanked offline, but not before copies slipped out. If that thing was real, it wasn't just watching, it was guarding something, and it didn't want to be disturbed. Creepy crawlies. Inside a cave near Avellino, Italy, a group of friends expected nothing more than rocks and darkness. But as they filmed their way deeper in, the camera caught something disturbing. Dozens of spiders, packed so tightly together, they looked like a breathing wall. They didn't scurry immediately, and seeing them in a cluster, well, the sight was enough to stop everyone cold. The second they realized what they were looking at, they bolted. No one dared look back. Even the video feels wrong, like something out of a nightmare. One thing's for sure, they're not stepping foot in that cave again. Echoes of Bamiyan. In the cliffs of Bamiyan, where two ancient Buddha statues once stood, something strange is happening. The statues were destroyed years ago, but the caves behind them are alive again, not with monks, but with families. Refugees now live inside those same carved chambers, surrounded by faded art that's over 1,000 years old. You can still see the outlines of the murals, like time refuses to let them go. It's quiet, but haunting. The stone walls hold too many stories, and even in silence, they seem to speak. Bamiyan isn't just ruins, it's a place where the past and present breathe side by side. Echoes beneath. In the caves of Okinawa, one man walks where most won't. For years, he's been returning to those dark tunnels, searching for the missing. He's found bones, helmets, and fragments of lives lost during World War II. People pass by these hills today without knowing what still rests below. But for him, every piece is a memory. Someone's brother, friend, or father. The world moved on, but the caves didn't. They hold the weight of a past that refuses to fade. And with every trip into the darkness, another soul gets a chance to be remembered. Afghan giant. A soldier came forward with a story that most wouldn't dare tell. Back in 2002, in the mountains of Kandahar, a squad went silent during patrol. A recovery team was sent. What they found was disturbing. Scattered gear, no bodies, and a cave that felt wrong. That's when it appeared. A massive, red-haired figure, towering and fast. The team opened fire, then airlifted what was left of the creature. The whole thing was swept under the rug, labeled as classified. No records, no answers. But the story spread, and to this day, some believe that the US stumbled onto something ancient and alive. Cave monster. Something about this cave didn't feel right. A group of young treasure hunters entered a hidden spot in Cancun, hoping for artifacts. But what they found was pure fear. As they crawled deeper, the cave got tighter, darker. Then something moved. A huge shape shifted from the shadows, tall and unnatural. Frozen in fear, they dropped everything and ran. They didn't realize until later that recent findings show ancient giants once walked this earth. Some now say the cave was never empty. It was guarded. Authorities sealed it off soon after, calling it dangerous. But leaked footage keeps surfacing, hinting that maybe, just maybe, it's not abandoned at all. Staircase eyes. In Kazvanlar village, a group of friends walked into an old, broken house, just trying to have fun. But what they found inside wasn't funny at all. Near the stairs, they spotted a shadowy figure. Not just a shadow, this one had a face, and two glowing eyes locked right on them. It didn't move, it just stared. And then, just like that, it was gone. The group rushed out without looking back. Some say it was a jinn. A spirit that lives in empty places. Either way, no one stepped back into that house since. Graveyard watcher. Graveyards are supposed to be quiet, but one night, a security guard noticed something strange while making his rounds. He saw movement near the tombstones and thought it was just a late-night trespasser, but when he aimed his flashlight, something ducked behind a grave. It wasn't human. Too quick, too silent. He couldn't see it clearly, but he felt it watching him. Some say it could be a creature, maybe even a chupacabra. Others think it was something darker, tied to the land or what's buried there. All the guard knows is, that night changed how he looks at shadows forever. Mountain figures. While camping in the beautiful hills of Prana, Brazil, a group of friends were just enjoying the view, until they spotted something that didn't belong. A tall figure was moving down the mountain slope, slow but clear. Not long after, two more appeared at the top, standing completely still. They weren't human, way too tall, too thin. The group watched in silence, trying not to draw attention. Some say they looked like Slender Man. Others swear it was alien activity. But one thing's for sure, the campers packed up fast. That night turned their peaceful escape into something definitely not from this world. Secret being. A blurry, leaked video started making waves online, and what it shows is hard to explain. The footage reveals a strange creature lying weak on the ground, struggling to open its large, hollow eyes. Its body looked human-ish, but not quite. It seemed hurt, like it had fallen from the sky. Rumors started flying fast. Some say it was an alien crash. Others say scientists quietly took it to a secret lab for treatment. So far, nothing's been confirmed. The creature disappeared, and the facility won't talk. But once you see the footage, it's hard to forget those eyes. CCTV horror. Caught on CCTV late one night, a security guard spotted something moving toward the gate. At first, it looked like a person in white, but it didn't walk like one. When the guard stepped out to investigate, the figure vanished into thin air, just gone. That same night, strange noises were heard coming from a nearby cave. Sharp screeches, like metal scraping, or something alive crying out. Locals say the sounds always come around the same time, 1:30 a.m. Now the guard refuses to patrol that area alone. Whatever it was, it didn't just show up. It came from somewhere. Maybe that cave. Lake Ghost.
Hello?
Do you need help?
What is it doing?
I don't know. Hey!
2 officers were called to an abandoned cottage by the lake after someone reported something strange. A local said he'd seen a white figure just standing by the water, not moving at all. It wasn't a person, at least, not one he recognized. The officers showed up and started filming. Their body cams caught them calling out to the figure, but it didn't react. It just stood there, completely still, then gone. No splash, no sound, just gone. The area was searched, but nothing was found. Locals had always whispered about that lake. After that night, even the officers weren't sure what they'd seen.
Are you alright? Hello?
UFO chase.
Describe it to us.
Well, the object was likened unto a cross, although the inner parts were something similar to the points of a compass, and they were quite blurred, the inner parts of the cross.
On a quiet night patrol, 2 police officers spotted something bizarre floating just above the trees. A glowing object shaped like a cross, bright but totally silent. It hovered smoothly, as if watching. The officers tried to follow, speeding along the road, but the object moved with impossible speed, vanishing into the sky. They both saw it clearly, too clear to ignore. The strange shape matched dozens of other UFO reports from nearby towns. After that chase, the officers weren't just believers, they were witnesses to something not meant to be seen. Mountain watchers. While hiking high in the Peruvian mountains, a group of climbers spotted something they couldn't explain. 2 massive figures were standing on the peak, tall like humans, but far too big to be normal. They didn't move, just stood there, watching. Locals had told stories for years about beings hiding in the mountains, coming down for strange missions, then vanishing again. Some say they aren't from Earth at all. The mountaineers didn't go any higher. Whatever was waiting at the top, it wasn't meant to be disturbed. That trail didn't feel like a hiking path anymore. It felt like a warning. Tunnel thing. A man walking near an old tunnel felt a weird pull, like something wanted him to come closer. He stepped inside, and the deeper he went, the heavier the air felt. Then came the noises, low, broken, almost like breathing.
What the hell? Hello?
He kept going, trying to stay calm. But out of nowhere, something rushed at him. He saw a shape, quick and shadowy, and bolted. He never looked back. People say the tunnel is haunted, cursed, or worse. Whatever it was, it didn't want visitors, and he swears something still watches from the dark every night. Cave eyes. A team of historians entered a cave looking for relics, but instead found something watching them. Hidden behind rocks, small glowing dots flickered in the dark like eyes. But there was no body, no clear shape, just a feeling, the kind that tells you you're not alone. The dots didn't blink or move, they just stared. One of the crew dropped their camera and froze. It wasn't just old carvings or artifacts down there. Something alive was buried deeper in that cave. They packed up and left fast. Whatever was hiding there wasn't meant to be disturbed. Hidden stairs.
What was that noise?
A hiker deep in the woods stumbled on something strange. A staircase leading underground, totally out of place. It looked old, but untouched. Curiosity got the best of him, so he went in. Right away, the air changed. Weird echoes bounced off the walls, and long tunnels twisted below. He passed metal doors, underground rooms, and staircases going even deeper. Some parts looked ancient, but others seemed recently used. Maybe it was a wartime bunker, or something much older. Spooked by what he found, he reported it to the authorities. That place wasn't just a basement, it felt like it was hiding secrets.
This place, that is crazy on the footprint.
Army Showdown. During a casual airsoft game in Mexico, players were mid-match when things took a wild turn. Out of nowhere, actual soldiers from the Mexican army stormed the field. At first, it looked like a serious raid. Gear, weapons, the whole setup. The players froze, hands up, trying to explain it was all just for fun. Once things calmed down and the misunderstanding was cleared, the vibe shifted completely. Some soldiers even stuck around, laughing and watching the game. What started as a high-stress moment ended with laughs, and probably the weirdest airsoft match anyone there would ever forget. Mel's Hole. In 2017, a few film students headed to Washington State chasing a creepy legend, Mel's Hole. Locals said it was bottomless. Others claimed it could bring the dead back. One story even talked about a dog tossed in and later seen alive. Following weird old maps and whispers, the group ended up on a quiet farm. But things got unsettling fast. The land felt wrong, and the deeper they went, the heavier it got. They didn't find a clear answer, just something they couldn't explain. Whatever's out there in the woods, it's not just an old story. It might still be watching.
There must be more in this world than science alone and technology.
Mountain Mouth. While winding through the mountains, a group of tourists spotted something weird carved into the rocky cliffs. A massive hole that looked way too perfect to be natural. One guy tossed a rock into it, expecting a quick echo, but nothing came back. Just silence. It felt like the thing swallowed the sound. Everyone froze. Maybe it was a landslide pit, or maybe something else dug it out. The vibe got too creepy, so they bailed. They didn't see any creature, but the thought of what could be living in there was enough to make them keep driving without looking back. Tyrannical Lair.
Or they think of him perhaps in the bunker in Berlin. But in reality, he spent over 800 days at the Wolf's Lair. It was by far the most used of all his headquarters.
In the middle of a dense forest, researchers made a wild discovery. An underground complex buried beneath dirt and overgrown trees. No windows, just thick walls, concrete tunnels, and air vents poking through the ground. This wasn't just a survival bunker. It was the Wolf's Lair, Hitler's secret base from World War II. Every room had a purpose, from offices to tight sleeping quarters, all protected by walls made to handle ambushes or any other attempts. It was designed to be invisible, and for a long time, it was. Even today, the structure still stands, quietly holding the secrets of a world that nearly burned down.
Thickness of the walls, the dankness of it, made it just such a grim and miserable place to be. It really is reflective of Hitler's mentality, of his paranoia.
Colonel's Under. Turns out, one KFC location in Arizona had more than just secret recipes. Beneath the abandoned building, a full-blown tunnel ran straight to Mexico. It was 180 meters long, and it wasn't for food delivery. Authorities were tipped off earlier in the year and had been watching the place. When they finally acted, they found a massive stash of illegal items hidden in the owner's vehicle. The tunnel was deep, carefully hidden and clearly used for years. What looked like a quiet fast food spot had been hiding a whole underground operation. Not your usual side of fries with that. Broke lying under.
Police make a wild discovery underneath a synagogue in Brooklyn.
An illegal tunnel found below the Chabad Lubavitch World Headquarters.
In the middle of Brooklyn, something strange was hiding right under one of the city's busiest spots. Beneath the Chabad Lubavitch headquarters, police found a tunnel that led straight into the heart of the sacred building. It wasn't an accident. This tunnel was dug by a group of young men trying to sneak in unnoticed. When crews arrived with cement to block it off, the group refused to leave. Chaos followed, and the cops had to step in fast. The area was shut down, and now experts are checking for damage. For the community, it wasn't just a breach. It felt like something out of a secret mission movie.
NYPD tells us that 12 men were arrested on a variety of felony and misdemeanor charges.
Frozen Mall.
This is a strange place.
Tucked away in a quiet, crumbling neighborhood, a group of explorers found what looked like a forgotten time capsule. An entire shopping mall, just sitting there like it had been frozen mid-century. The air was dusty, there was no electricity, but somehow the elevators still worked. One even opened with a ding. Weirdest part? Shelves still held stale cookies and faded signs. It felt too old for something that shouldn't be that old. They weren't just walking into an abandoned mall. They were walking into a question no one had the answer to. The place felt like it existed outside of time.
The elevator is constantly going up and down.
Yeah, but you can't get into them.
Alley trap. A man took a shortcut down an old alley, not expecting anything unusual, until he noticed a pale shape shifting in the dark. At first, he thought it was a lost animal, maybe a goat. But when he got closer and reached out, it didn't feel alive. Its skin was soft like rubber, too perfect, too fake. The thing didn't run, it just twitched. That was enough for him. He bolted. But here's the creepy part. No one saw him after that. People think the thing wasn't real at all, more like a decoy. Whatever was waiting in that alley didn't want him to leave. Snow drain. Somewhere along a quiet, snow-covered road in Switzerland, a visitor spotted a manhole cover poking out from the icy ground. Nothing unusual, until he got closer. That's when the noise started. It wasn't wind or ice shifting. It was louder, sharper, almost like something was alive down there. The sound didn't match any animal, and it sure didn't sound human. Whatever it was, it gave off a feeling that told him to back off fast. He didn't look twice. He turned and kept walking, leaving behind the drain and whatever weird thing was echoing from inside it. Bouncing cover. In Denver, traffic came to a halt not because of a crash, but because of a manhole cover that wouldn't stay still. It kept bouncing, almost like something under it was trying to get out. People recorded it, joked about mutants or spirits, and one reporter even jokingly called the Ghostbusters. Officials later claimed it was just water pressure messing with the pipes, but not everyone bought that. The way the cover moved, it felt off. Too unnatural. It was one of those things you could explain with science, but still made your skin crawl. Vanished cop. During a search for missing livestock, a police officer was driving down a remote road when he saw something that didn't belong in the sky. A massive flying object hovered low, spinning slowly, its shape unlike any aircraft. Then, a strange figure appeared nearby, tall, thin, and definitely not human. The officer didn't approach. He stood, frozen, watching. Hours later, he was gone. His car was found, engine running, but no sign of him. Many now believe he was taken. An alien abduction, hidden in plain sight. That road has since become a spot people avoid after dark. Echo drain. A man walking his dog stopped in his tracks when he heard a noise roll across the valley. It wasn't thunder, and it wasn't an echo from above. It came from a drain on the side of the path. The sound was strange, like a metallic howl or a far-off machine coming to life. He leaned in to listen, even looked through the hole. Nothing. No lights, no movement, just the noise, loud and steady. He'd passed that same drain for years and never heard a sound before. That day, it felt like something ancient had woken up beneath the ground. Venting out. A homeowner heard a soft thud near his vent, but thought it was just the house settling. Later, while walking past it, he saw something move behind the slats. At first glance, it looked like a frog, but then it stretched. Too long, too wrong. It had scales, or maybe fur. He couldn't tell. It stared without blinking. He backed away slowly, heart pounding. It never came out, but he swears it's still in there. Now he won't go near that vent without turning on all the lights. Whatever it is, it's waiting, watching, and maybe next time it won't stay hidden. Warehouse vanish. He entered an abandoned warehouse for a thrill, camera rolling, boots echoing on the cracked concrete. Everything looked empty, but the deeper he went, the stranger it felt. Then he stopped. At the end of the hallway, barely visible in the grainy footage, stood a tall, thin figure. No face, no movement, just standing there. He called out. Nothing. He kept recording, but that's the last anyone ever heard from him. Search teams came. All they found was his phone, still recording, left on the floor. The figure gone, and so was he, like the building swallowed him whole. Cursed coffin.
I am exploring an abandoned location here, and you're not going to believe what I just found.
An explorer entered an abandoned site expecting the usual. Creaky walls, broken furniture, maybe some cold spots. But what he found was worse than ghosts. Inside a crumbling building sat a lone coffin, dusty, sealed, and completely out of place. He opened it and instantly regretted it. This wasn't a normal burial. The way it was set up felt ritualistic, like it had been placed there for a reason. Some believe it was part of an ancient custom, while others think someone tried to trap something inside. Whatever the truth is, that place didn't feel empty anymore. Secret room.
When your Airbnb has a secret room.
A guy staying at an Airbnb spotted a weird panel hidden in the corner of the room. It looked like part of the wall, but wasn't. Behind it was a staircase leading to a secret room filled with strange personal items. Old notebooks, clothes, and tools like someone had just stepped out and never returned. When he asked around, things got weirder. The room was once used by military agents. No records, no details, just quiet shutdowns and closed mouths. Whatever went on down there, someone didn't want it talked about. And now that room locked for good. Hidden below. One family opened the fridge in their Airbnb and found something way worse than spoiled food. The back panel slid open, revealing a hidden passage. It led to a cold, empty room. No light, no sound, just space that shouldn't exist. In another case, a couple found what looked like a kitchen cabinet, but behind it was a wall with stairs descending into pitch black. The decor was strange too, like someone had tried to hide something behind fake charm. Locals say the house might have been built over tunnels from a different era. Maybe for war, maybe for something else. Whatever it was, that house wasn't just a place to stay.
That is a secret door.
Hidden chambers. While going through his childhood home, a man found something he'd never seen before. One old photo showed a door in the library that wasn't there anymore. After digging around, he found the spot, hidden behind a bookshelf. When he removed the shelves, a wooden panel was revealed. Behind it, a pitch-black room. But that wasn't all. A narrow passage snaked underground, leading to other hidden rooms. There was even a ladder to an attic space no one had mentioned. It turns out the home was designed with secret tunnels, likely for servants back in the day. But how this stayed hidden for generations still doesn't sit right. Radio Manhole.
Omdat een patriotisch commando het had gewaagd zijn zuster te beledigen.
A group of boys noticed something weird during their walk. An old manhole with symbols scratched all over it. At first, it just looked old, but then they heard it. Music. Not street noise or pipe rumbling, but actual music. A radio signal coming from below. They backed away, creeped out by how clear it was. None of them dared to touch it. Maybe it was a glitch in the system, or maybe it was a setup for something darker. The manhole never opened, but that sound, it kept playing.
Ergens werd tegenstand geboden. Vele patriotten vluchtten naar het buitenland.
Drain sounds. In River Grove, Illinois, a regular walk turned weird. On September 13, 2014, a man heard something coming from a street drain. Strange noises, like something trapped. At first, he brushed it off, but then the sound got clearer, almost like giggling. It didn't feel right. He got close, pulled out his phone just in case, but didn't record. The second he leaned in, one creepy thought hit him hard. What if it was a clown? That was enough. He turned around and left fast. Whatever was in that drain stayed there, and no one went back to find out. Chased by silence.
Holy crap! I woke up one of the bats or something.
A historian, eager to uncover lost history, ventured into a cramped cave. It was so narrow he could barely stand, but his curiosity pushed him forward. As he moved deeper, an unsettling hiss filled the air, echoing off the walls. Was it just a snake, or something much larger? The noise sent a chill down his spine, and doubt crept in. He turned to leave, but something felt wrong. It was as if the cave itself was urging him out, hiding secrets that had been buried for centuries. As he stepped back into the light, the sense of being pursued never left him. What lay deeper in that cave, waiting to be discovered, remained a mystery.
There is something making noise. I'm getting out of here. Something like hissing at me.
Subscriber pick. While working in a remote cave, a group of Arab workers came across a sight that sent a chill through their bones. Out of the darkness, a figure dressed entirely in black appeared. Nothing like anything they had ever seen before. To some, it resembled a jinn from ancient legends. One worker began to act strangely, his face contorting in unsettling ways, as if taken over by something dark. Soon, others began experiencing similar bizarre episodes. The atmosphere grew too unsettling to ignore, and the workers fled in fear. The cave was sealed off, its secrets locked away, leaving everyone to wonder what truly happened beneath the Earth's surface.